Okay, are we recording? Oh. Perfect to support the egg. Like I've mentioned time and time again, winter is for, say it with me now. I'm pretty sure you all know by now that I'm a licensed practical nurse, but I've never discussed what area of nursing. I've probably literally worked all over, but today's video, I'm touching on a topic that's super close to my heart. This is for all the ladies because we're getting into the female hormones. After my first maternity leave, I became a fertility nurse, and it was the best area of nursing I've ever been in. If I wasn't currently in the wellness therapeutic area, I would definitely 1,000,000,000% go back to a fertility clinic. The best experience of nursing, honestly, I've ever had. And I will probably do a little get to know me in the future. But for now, let's get right into it. Wagwan, folks. I'm your girl, Tamika Chi, holistic wellness consultant, coach, herbalist. And with my LPN background, I'm bridging the gap between health and wellness. So, current sip status, hot chocolate. But I'm actually using cocoa powder because sometimes your girl just wants something different. There is a difference between cocoa and cocoa and I guess your typical hot chocolate. Cocoa is typically roasted at higher temperatures and is more processed, sweeter, which also means the benefits with cocoa will be more potent since it's the raw, unroasted version. Nonetheless, the benefits are great. Rich in flavonoids that stimulate the production of nitric oxide, which relaxes inner muscles of the blood vessels and increasing blood flow, reducing blood pressure and improving blood flow throughout the entire body. It also may improve cholesterol by lowering your LDLs, which are your bad cholesterol, while increasing your HDLs, which are your good cholesterol. It can help to regulate endorphins and dopamine, which are hormones that induce pleasure while decreasing stress. And I may be having the raw version now, but do not get it twisted. I will have just a regular hot chocolate from time to time. It's in my house. The sir likes it. So it all depends on the day. Okay, so throughout the years of nursing, specifically as a fertility LPN, I've seen many different types of women. We have the woman who is exhausted, spotting a couple days before her period actually starts, believes to have a short luteal phase, and is worried about conceiving. We also have the woman who has been on a form of birth control for years, decides to come off, but her cycle isn't what it used to be or continues to remain inconsistent. But her doctor says, just give it time. Then there's the woman who's waking up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat. Her moods are swinging so hard she feels unrecognizable to herself. She's been told it's just perimenopause and to tough it out. And here's what all three of these women had in common. They all thought or was told this was normal. And I find that we are meant to believe that suffering is just a part of being a female. It is what it is because let's be honest, unless you've got the right professional, you will continue to get generic information. And this is with anything, especially if what you're asking isn't their specialty. And I also find that just because some things are common, it doesn't mean that it's right. And I'm not talking about going off of textbook. I'm talking about dealing with individuals where they're at. They tell you to check your blood pressure, temperature, cholesterol, but nobody ever teaches you to check with your hormones. Nobody really knows that your monthly cycle is actually your fourth vital sign. But here's the truth that I want women to hear. Whether you're trying to conceive, trying not to conceive, or just trying to survive premenopause, your hormones are not random chaos. They run on a schedule. And I am not afraid to admit that honestly, it wasn't until I was training and studying to be a fertility nurse that I truly understood the menstrual cycle, despite dealing with it every month for, a really long time. Because because every time I saw that damn chart, it looked like just lines and waves. And that's actually such a beautiful thing. Your cycle isn't just one flat line. It's a rhythm. And when that rhythm gets disrupted, it's usually not because your ovaries are broken. It's because something in the system is out of tune. Think of it like this. Your hormones are the body's communication network. Estrogen is the growth signal. Progesterone is the stability signal. They're supposed to take turns leading the conversation. But in modern life, that conversation gets interrupted occasionally. Plastic water bottles, don't worry, I do it too, but facts are facts. Fake estrogen that tricks your body. A woman under chronic stress that tells the brain, danger, shut down ovulation. We cannot have a baby right now. Women on low-fat diets not realizing that hormones are made from cholesterol and fat. So cut the fat, cut the hormone production. The body gets confused, the signals get crossed, and then you may end up with heavy bleeding or no bleeding or PMS so bad it feels like Jekyll and Hyde. And trust me, I've been there for years, curled up on the bathroom floor, literally dying of my cramps as a teen and in my early 20s. I was terrified to have children because people used to tell me that labor was a million times worse than your menstrual cramps. And at that time, I couldn't fathom anything being worse than this. I mean, I was going to the doctors and getting medication, and that honestly didn't help all the time. There was no way that you could have paid me to even think about giving birth without an epidural. And honestly, here I am. After making some adjustments, I can honestly say that I have had 2 unmedicated home births that went beautifully. And I am no longer suffering from period cramps. Therefore, we have a choice. We can keep managing symptoms with a Band-Aid, or we can learn to speak the language of the cycle. We can support each phase with what it actually needs through foods, herbs, and through understanding the timing and, more importantly, your body. Everybody's different, so it's really important to listen to what works for you. Okay, so let's walk through the cycle together. I'm going to give you the typical ranges and hormone stories and exactly what to eat and drink to support each phase. Again, this is just generic. I know everybody's cycle is different because mine's actually doesn't even kind of really follow this. So we have phase 1, the menstrual phase, basically your inner winter. This usually runs between days 1 to 5-ish. So day 1, full flow. This is the starting line. I can't tell you how many women feel guilty resting on their period, but they push through, they work out, they continue to do the most and pretend nothing's happening. But physiologically, this is your inner winter. And like I've mentioned time and time again, winter is for, say it with me now, rest. Progesterone and estrogen are at their lowest. The uterine lining is shedding. Your body is literally letting go. And a lot of people don't realize the quality of your period says a lot. Heavy clotting can indicate low progesterone or estrogen dominance. Very light, short bleeds can mean thin lining or low estrogen. Pale blood, check your iron. So how do we support this phase? We rebuild the blood. Iron-rich foods are non-negotiable here. Think beets, roast them, juice them, love them, eat them. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, and also lentils. Therefore, on your heavy days, give yourself permission to be still. Eat warm foods, and if you're trying to conceive, this is the week that you should start taking notes of when the bleeding ends, because ovulation is right around the corner. Then we have phase 2, the follicular phase. Again, think inner spring. This runs from day 6 to around day 13. So bleeding stops. Estrogen starts climbing. This is your springtime. You might notice your energy returning, your skin clearing up, your mood lifting. Cervical fluid starts appearing, first sticky, then creamy, then eventually egg white. That's estrogen working. This is the phase where your body is most sensitive to insulin. You can tolerate carbs better now. So if you're going to have that sweet potato or a piece of fruit, chocolate, sweets, now is the time. Your body will actually use it for energy instead of storing it away as fat. We also need to support the liver right now. Estrogen is rising and we want the liver to clear out any old used hormones so the new ones can shine. So we're talking cruciferous vegetables, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage, your kale. They contain compounds called indole 3-carbinol that helps the liver metabolize estrogen effectively. Therefore, load them up on your plate with roasted veggies. You can also add a tablespoon of ground flax seeds daily. It helps bind to excess estrogen in the gut so it leaves the body instead of recirculating. Phase 3, ovulation, the peak. This happens around day 14 to 16. Again, these are just generic dates. So ovulation is the main event. The egg releases, estrogen peaks, then drops sharply. Testosterone also has a little peak here, which is why you might feel more confident, more flirty, more social. And best believe ovulation pain is real. Some women, including myself, might feel a little cramp or twinge on one side. That's the follicle stretching and releasing. Also, if you're tracking cycle, egg white cervical fluid is your green light. If you see it, fertility is high. This phase requires antioxidants to protect the egg from free radical damage. Berries, you got your blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, are packed with them. Zinc is also crucial for egg quality and hormone balance. You find that in pumpkin seeds, oysters, and healthy fats from avocado, olive oil, wild salmon. These support inflammatory response around ovulation. So celebrate ovulation with a bowl of mixed berries, a handful of pumpkin seeds, and half an avocado. Perfect to support the egg. Then we have phase 4, the luteal phase. This is your inner autumn. This typically happens around day 15 to 28. So ovulation is done, and now we enter the luteal phase. Progesterone rises. This hormone is nature's Valium. It's calming, it's grounding, it's meant to make you nest. Your body temperature stays slightly elevated. You might feel more introverted, less social, but this is also where most women struggle because if progesterone doesn't rise enough, or if you had a weak ovulation or high stress, then estrogen can dominate. And estrogen dominance feels like anxiety, irritability, breast tenderness, bloating, and sugar cravings. A luteal phase shorter than 10 days can be a red flag. It may mean that the uterus isn't getting enough progesterone support to sustain a pregnancy. This is fixable, but it does require addressing the root cause, often stress or poor ovulation quality. But again, speak with your healthcare provider, or depending on where you are. I've been a huge advocate for telling ladies, regardless of if you're trying to conceive, go to a fertility clinic, do one round of what is called cycle monitoring and see what's happening to your body. Okay, so how do we support the luteal phase? Magnesium is queen here. It helps the liver produce the estrogen and calms the nervous system. Find it in dark chocolate. So usually this is around the time when people are craving chocolate. I would recommend 70% or higher. Pumpkin seeds and spinach. Craving chocolate before your period is actually a sign that your body is crying for magnesium. So listen to it. It's for a reason. B vitamins, especially B6, help progesterone do its job. This is found in leafy greens, bananas, and chickpeas. Complex carbohydrates, again, these are your sweet potatoes, your oats, your quinoa, help stabilize blood sugar. When blood sugar crashes, this triggers cortisol, and cortisol steals from progesterone. So keep blood sugar steady and your progesterone will thank you. This is also the time where you can drink your red raspberry leaf and hibiscus tea, usually a week before your next cycle, to help strengthen your uterus, minimize cramps, and for hormonal support. The seed cycling protocol. So here's a practical tool you may find useful. We have them in 2 phases. So phase 1, days 1 to 4, 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and pumpkin seeds daily. Flaxseed supports estrogen metabolism. Pumpkin seeds provide zinc for ovulation. Then we have phase 2 between days 15 to 28. Switch to 1 tablespoon of ground sesame seeds and sunflower seeds. Sesame seeds help clear excess estrogen. Sunflower seeds provide selenium and vitamin E to support progesterone. Therefore, if you're struggling with PMS, try this. In the second half of your cycle, make yourself warm oatmeal at night, stir in some sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, top with some raspberries, and have a square of dark chocolate. You're not indulging, you're trying to help your body and support it the way that it needs to. Now, if you're in your 40s or early 50s, your cycle story is shifting again. Premenopause is not menopause. It's the transition, and it can last anywhere from 4 to 10 years. Estrogen starts to fluctuate widely. Some months it's high, some months it's low. Progesterone declines first, which is why sleep often suffers and anxiety can spike. Hot flashes, night sweats, brain fogs. These are all signs of the body adjusting to the new rhythm. And please be aware that in premenopause, pregnancy is still possible until you've gone a full 12 months without a period. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I've seen it firsthand, a lot of surprise babies in women who thought that they were done. Holistically, we support this phase with adaptogens, herbs that help the body adapt to stress. Ashwagandha supports the adrenals, which becomes more important as ovarian hormones decline. Red clover and flax seeds also provide gentle phytoestrogens, plant compounds that can help smooth the hot flashes without being as strong as your own estrogen. Therefore, if night sweats are waking you up, try a cup of red clover tea before bed and keep flax seeds in your morning smoothie. And please prioritize protein. Muscle mass protects your metabolism as hormones shift. So let's bring it back to where we started. You are not broken for feeling out of sync. And I wasn't broken, and I'm not broken because some months I don't have it all together. And that's okay. We just haven't been taught the language of our own body. And the world honestly makes it so hard. Stress, toxins, poor diets, they all interfere with our own internal conversations. Therefore, you have to become the interpreter. You don't need to do everything all at once. Maybe this month, just track your cycle and notice the phases. Maybe you add flax seeds into your breakfast. Maybe you don't. Start where you are. Your hormones are not your enemy. They are your internal guidance system. And when you learn to listen, they will tell you exactly what they need. Again, if you're really struggling with your cycle, speak with your healthcare provider and see if a fertility clinic referral is something you can get. Every clinic is different. I'm from Canada, and the first fertility clinic that I worked at, clients didn't have to pay for cycle monitoring. So do your research, speak with your doctor or healthcare provider, and see if it's an option for you. Because I truly believe that every woman should have a good baseline about what's going on with her body, her hormones, and her cycle. Quick side note, if you'd like a printable guide to seed cycling and phase-based eating, let me know in the comments and share your experience. It is something that I am currently working on, and unfortunately, I couldn't get it out in time before recording this video because life is lifing. But when it's ready, I will definitely be adding the link in the description. So if you leave a comment that you are interested, I will personally respond and let you know when it's ready. Remember, be kind to yourself. Peace and love always. That was my favorite to record.